my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I am very happy and grateful that you've chose to spend your time with me and supporting my channel. Really easy. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell of when you'd like to be notified of when I put out a new video. And I hope that you're all doing well, but if not, I do hope things will get better for you soon. But if you want to forget about things for just a little while, join me in meeting Mary Tarot. So this is a deck that was created by Danylo, Mikula, and published by Play Design, and it was released in 2025. And I have I don't know if it's the companion deck, but I also have the Tarot, and I just did a video on that. So this is the second deck, and Danylo has put out a couple other decks, the Dark Abyss Tarot and the White Abyss Tarot, and I will link his website, so if you want to go check out the decks. And on his website you have a few options. These prices, last I checked, which was a little while ago, sometimes sites do put things on sale. So this was the last price I checked. So if you're interested in just obtaining the deck, it's $57. If you want to do the printed guidebook with the deck, it's $68. And if you want to get both the Mary and Terry Tarot, it would be $173 for all four of them. And there is no guidebook in the box, so you either have to purchase the printed one, or there is a scan the code to access the guidebook online. So you can do that either way you want to. And the deck itself is 5 inches height, across is 3.25, the width is 2 inches, and the title sadly is not anywhere. And it has this slide. I'm not too crazy about the deck design, the deck box design I should say, because I've accidentally had the box slide and all of the cards spilled out on me, so yeah, not a fan. And on the back you have, it says inside there are 78 cards, each small story, sometimes it's yours. Discover the other world. And you've got little cute guys there. Okay, so we'll look at this guidebook after we look at the cards. So as you can see, it does have blue edges, and you just have to slide them out. And reversals will not be revealed. And I'm not sure if my next video is going to be a comparison between the Mary and Terry deck. I still haven't decided yet. Okay, so in my tarot videos, I do a side-by-side comparison. With a Rider-Waite, and the one that I've been using on pretty much all my videos is the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and it's published by US Game Systems. Okay, move all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so pretty much everything has been kept the same, as in the title and the number, but the deck just is the same as the Terry Tarot. There's minimal illustrations. It's not exactly, it's kind of pippish, I say that loosely because it still has illustrations in it, but it's some of the cards are pippish, but it's not totally pippish. But we'll see that as we go by. So go ahead and look at the major arcana. And it is a cute deck. I think everybody should own a little cutesy deck in their life. Okay, that is the majors. We go into the minors and we start off with the wands. And as I said in the Terry Tarot, some of the illustrations are kind of, I guess you could say, confusing, or they're kind of lacking in the what's the best way to put this? I can't remember what I said with the other video, but yeah, see, like with the Six of Wands, for example, Six of Wands means success, victorious, yada yada yada, and then we just have wands, I think, or I'm not really sure what these are. But as you can see, it's kind of confusing. So some of the cards are like that. And I got this as a Kickstarter initially, and I do believe there is a Kickstarter page for it. If there is, I will link it to the description. I just got the Terry and Mary card together, the deck, and for the life of me, I can't remember which one was the Kickstarter campaign of the two. Or it could be that I think they were doing both decks as a Kickstarter. I do believe. Don't quote me until I find the page and put it up in the description. Alright, so we're moving on to the Ace. Cups, sorry. I was looking at the Ace. And if you are not familiar of when somebody calls it a pip deck, so this is a good illustration as to what a pip deck is. So basically a pip deck is just like this. The major arcana is illustrated, but sometimes even then it's very minimal. The court cards can also be minimal, but the majority of the time they at least have the symbol of the page, knight, queen, king. Sometimes it'll be, the page will be, I can't think of what the page will be, but it'll be minimal. And then you have the knight, which is most of the time like a horse or something similar to that. Queen and king usually has the crowns in a lot of pip decks that I've seen. And the major arcana is pipish. It's pip. What am I saying pipish for? But as you can see, 7 of cups. There are 7 of cups. That's a pip deck. With each suit, they may stick to the traditional suits, wands, cups, pentacles, and swords, and they'll put like 2 wands, 3 wands, 4, 5. You kind of get the picture with the cups, an ace, 2, 3, 4. It'll be the number of it. And honestly, I'm not a fan of pip decks. So this is the 7 of cups. So I really am not a fan of it because it is a lost opportunity. If you want to call it lazy, I would agree with that. I would go so far as to say that that is just lazy. That you have this, it makes me kind of miffed because it's such a great opportunity. You have this skill of being able to draw or illustrate. Why would you not want to show off that skill? I envy people who can do creative things like that. So why would you not want to show that off? So that's my little rant about pip decks. And also, one more thing is that in some of the decks that I've seen, like collectible decks, and I've been disappointed by certain collectible decks because they had so much material to work with that they chose to just ignore it. And I think one of the biggest disappointing decks I have ever come across so far. And I I usually am not this bad about decks, discouraging about them, but this is one deck that I can honestly not recommend. And this is a rarity for me. But once I got it, and I've done a video on it, and I looked through it and I was like, this is, oh, I was blown away by how terrible it was. I mean, if you want to buy it for nostalgia, by all means, I would, you know, never tell anybody not to buy a deck. But if somebody was asking me, what is the worst deck that you've come across? I mean, the quality was fine, card stock and everything, but the whole deck was, and that deck was put out by Inside Editions, and most of the decks by Inside Editions are not that great. Not to say all of them are not great, but yeah. But it's the Star Trek The Next Generation. And that's, yeah. If you can, go check this deck out and my video, and you'll understand why. Okay, let's go to the swords. But I wow, it's all I can say. I mean, and that was one of the most wasted opportunities that they could have had with that deck. They could have made that deck so good, because I loved Star Trek. I don't like it now. I don't like the direction that they've taken it, and I really liked Next Generation. And they had so much material to work with, so many things they could have done differently with it. And I don't want to deter from this deck, but just wanted to give you an example of a pip deck. And that is a pip deck also. And I do apologize for going off on a tangent, but I just love cartomancy so much. It's near and dear to my heart, and it is disappointing when you see a deck that could have been so much more. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and somebody will make a Star Trek deck. I don't know. It's possible. Alright, so we are down to the Pentacles. Like I said, some of these cards I scratch my head at, and I'm trying to come up with what this even is. I mean, I know it's 5 Pentacles, but it's an interesting interpretation of it. That's cute. Dinosaur. Looks like a dinosaur. I mean, some of these cards are cute, but confusing. Some of them are confusing. Would I recommend this as a beginner deck? No, I would not. But that's not to say that even as a beginner, if a deck does kind of catch your attention and you really like it from what you see, there's no reason for you not to buy it. And as you get used to it, you will learn the deck. But if you're looking for something similar to Rider-Waite, no, I wouldn't recommend this as a beginner deck at all. Okay, or even your first deck, but like I said, it's up to you if you want to buy it or not. Okay, so this is Flexi Bendy. The card stock is really good. And the cards, I forgot to give you the card dimensions, but these cards are tarot size, standard tarot size. Okay, so let's look at the guidebook. And if you saw the Terry Tarot video, it's the same setup with the guidebook. And it says, Mary Tarot, a reading with Mary feels like a soft blanket and a quiet moment, soothing, supportive, and wise, calm, kind, and deeply intuitive. All right, so we have the content page, and there's no spreads. It's basically just the meanings of the cards. And then we have the title and the number. Then we have a picture of the card, and we have these little squares about this card: work, consciousness, personal relationships, and love relationships. And it's that way throughout the whole guidebook. It's not lessened like in a lot of guidebooks where the minor arcana is not given as much attention. In this book, they are. They're given the same attention as the majors, which is unusual. Yeah, as you can see, there's no spreads. And they've got the code if you want to scan that. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffling. You can shuffle any which way you want. There's no right or wrong way. You could do the rifle shuffle. If you can handle regular size tarot cards, deck, this should be no issue for shuffling. It's all in how you choose to shuffle and how you can shuffle. You can do the overhead. Overhand. I'm sorry. Overhead. Okay. And then you can do the cutting, where you just cut it up in piles and then collect your cards this way. Or you can do a fan. Not really great fan material, but still, you can make it work. Or you could just spread it all over the table. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. Mine is the overhand. Side, no. Some people like to do side. This one, no. I think the only ones that are good for the side shuffle are the bigger oracle decks. If you have a big deck, wide deck, those are great for side shuffling. But regular size tarot, yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, so let's see what Mary wants to pop up and give us a message. Oh, we got two. Okay. Well, because it's not shuffled very well, I'm not surprised, but we've got the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's see what the guidebook has to say. Four of Pentacles. Okay, about this card. The Four of Pentacles symbolizes security, control, and holding on to tightly to what you value. It warns against being overly possessive. Personal relationships. Being protective of friendships is natural, but too much control can create distance. Love relationships. Clinging too tightly can make love feel restricted. Allow space for growth. Financial caution is wise, but avoid being overly frugal. Invest thoughtfully. Consciousness. Holding on to past fears may block new growth. Let go of what no longer serves you. And Three of Pentacles. About this card, the Three of Pentacles emphasize teamwork, collaboration, and practical skills. It's about building something meaningful with the help of others. Collaboration leads to success. Combine your skills with those of your colleagues. Consciousness. Learning from others enhances your abilities. Be open to constructive feedback. Personal relationships. Teamwork strengthens bonds. Working together makes tasks enjoyable. Love relationships. Building a strong relationship requires effort from both sides. Cooperation brings stability. And I usually will do, instead of a one card draw a daily, I'll do two. And I think this just gives me a lot more clarity. Just my own personal thing. Because you pull the Four of Pentacles and you get the one message, and it's like, okay, well, where should I focus that? Because Four of Pentacles usually represents material or money, finances, and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, well, what area in my life should I focus that in? Or is it something else that I need to not be so stingy, overly possessive about, something like that? And then you get the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles represents cooperation with other people. So it could be that maybe you need to be less inflexible when you're dealing with other people, or you need to be more open-minded and not be so closed off. Or it could be something financial, because pentacles do represent finances. So it could be maybe you're a loan officer and somebody's coming in, a company is coming in for a loan, and they're saying, this would be a good thing for approving for a loan, giving them a chance or something like that. Or even, if you have money and you have these people like, hey, do you want to go in with our company? Do you want to invest? Do you want to work with us? It could also be that. So that's why I like doing the two card instead of just the one, because then you get more clarity with the second card. Well, that's what I do. So it's totally up to you. And I mean, those are just interpretations off the fly. All right, so that's all I have for this little cute deck. I don't want to go so far as to say whimsical, but that is all I have for this deck. Let me know what you think of it. And if you did get it, let me know how it's working out for you. And once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I hope that you will join me with another video in the future. But until then, take care and goodbye, my dears.